Before you get ready to read the speeches by Patrick Henry and Ben Franklin, I wanted to take just a few minutes and talk a little bit about their backgrounds and where these gentlemen came from, what they're most well known for during this time period, so that as you read, you can see some of these things come through in their speeches. The first speech is by a man named Patrick Henry, and his speech is the speech in the Virginia Convention. Okay, and so Patrick Henry was a pretty emotional speaker. He could move people to feel angry or afraid or to laugh very easily, even more so than an actor might be able to. His most memorable quote that he is known throughout history is "Give me liberty or give me death." So he is actually known as the most powerful orator of the American Revolution, and he really helped to inspire the colonists in their effort to unite and win their independence from Great Britain. So, the first time that we really see him stand out as a great speaker is in 1765. He's elected to the Virginia House of Burgesses, and shortly after that, he gives a really powerful speech that declares his opposition to the Stamp Act. And so, what the Stamp Act is, it was where Great Britain said, okay, all you colonists over there in America, every time you print something on a piece of paper, you owe us a tax. So we're talking about everything from their legal documents to the daily newspapers and even playing cards. So every time they printed something on paper, they had to pay England money. And so Patrick Henry thought this was completely crazy, and he was actually able to convince the Virginia House to stop paying that tax and realize how silly it really was. The next time we see Patrick Henry's speaking abilities is in 1775, and this was his actual most famous speech at the Virginia Provincial Convention. Most of the speakers that day were arguing that the colonies should come to a compromise with the British, but Henry told the colonists to stand firm and to actually resist going home to England or to have England continue their rule over them. So his speech has a powerful impact on the audience and actually feeds the spirit that led to the signing of the Declaration of Independence. So he is one of the people that really inspired the colonists to come up with our own set of rules in the Declaration of Independence. He continues to serve the rest of his years as a political leader. He ends up as governor of Virginia and remains a member of the Virginia General Assembly. So, a very important man in the forming of the Declaration of Independence and the colonies winning their freedom from Britain. The other speaker that you're going to read is Ben Franklin, and you may be familiar with him. Because he has a ton of inventions and tons of things that he's done. And those of you in the Philadelphia area, he has a museum over there in honor of all of his great accomplishments. But he was also a diplomat and a very good persuasive speaker. Okay? So, Franklin was leader in the colonial movement for independence. In 1776, Congress actually sent him to France to get help in fighting the American Revolution. And through his persuasive powers, he was able to achieve that goal. And actually, the France coming over to help us in the American Revolution was one of the pivotal moments in history, and actually may have been the deciding factor in the war. So we have Ben Franklin to thank for that in getting the French to come over and help us win our freedom from Great Britain. Then in 1783, he signed a peace treaty that ended the war and established the new nation. He returned home to serve as a delegate to the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia. And this is where politicians started fighting over the new government. What laws would we have? What would the regulations be? And so Franklin worked with them to resolve all of these conflicts and ensure that the Constitution was ratified, that we gave the stamp of approval. We had a Constitution to guide our new government. So Even though he's had contributions in many other fields, Franklin is best remembered as a statesman and diplomat. He is the only American to have signed all four documents that helped to establish the new nation: the Declaration of Independence, the Treaty of Alliance with France, the Peace Treaty with England, and the Constitution. So there's a section later in your textbook that is all devoted to Ben Franklin. If you want to read more, we won't actually be covering that in class, but it might be something interesting to take a look at. Knowing this background about Patrick Henry and Ben Franklin, hopefully you'll understand a little bit better about what they were addressing and what arguments they were making in their speeches as you're reading. Again, consider the audience. Think about those who were friendly and fully in support of what these two gentlemen wanted to do. And think about the hostile audience members that maybe weren't in agreement with them 100% and how they would react to their words. What rhetorical devices did these gentlemen have to use in order to help persuade everyone to agree and to sign the documents that founded our new nation? So go ahead, read through these two speeches, complete your assignments, and let me know if you have any questions.